Life on Earth is an ever-unfolding story. There's drama, comedy, action, and tragedy. Now the story has reached a pivotal point, and what happens next depends on what we humans do. Clearly, we're capable of great things. We've travelled untold distances, explored uncharted territories, invented new worlds. But now it's time to turn our attention to our world, a world in which we share so much with our fellow life forms. We also share a future that today, more than ever, we have a responsibility to foster and protect. Conservation isn't a job, it's a life commitment. It's built on a foundation of curiosity and wonder, and the bold scientific achievements of the past. And lives on in the pioneering work and dedication of those honoured by the Indianapolis Prize. These are the heroes of Earth's ongoing story, the ones upon whom so much of our future depends. They're not just our dreamers, but also our doers. They are the ones with the will to make a difference. Thanks to them, we still have the one thing that every good story needs: hope. That is why we're here. The next chapter is ours to write. This is the Indianapolis Prize.
Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us today. As you can see from that wonderful introductory video, we are excited to announce and celebrate the 2025 Indianapolis Prize Emerging Conservationist. I'm Scott Swan. It's a pleasure to be with you today for this important announcement from the heart of the Midwest here in the United States, Indianapolis, Indiana, where the Indianapolis Zoo is located. This is a pre-recorded announcement today, but the Indianapolis Prize team and our winner are available today to answer any questions in the Q&A throughout our programming. So I've been a television news anchor here in Indianapolis for many, many years. Since 2002, I've had some really fun experiences, but I must tell you that this media announcement is always very fun for me. So we're all brought here today by our shared commitment to preserve wild things and wild places. Our Indianapolis Prize, now in its 20th year, honors modern-day heroes from around the world that work to protect threatened animal species and their ecosystems. And helping to recognize these heroes today is President and CEO of the Indianapolis Zoo, Dr. Rob Shoemaker, who is an evolutionary biologist who specializes in the study of behavior and cognition. He's internationally recognized as an expert on animal tool behavior, primate cognition, and zoo design. So please welcome Indianapolis Zoo President and CEO, Dr. Rob Shoemaker, to our virtual stage.
Thank you so much, Scott. It's good to see you. I'm excited to be joining you today from the Beetle Financial Media Studio at the Indianapolis Zoo's Global Center for Species Survival. Since 2004, the Indianapolis Prize has awarded more than $7 million in cash awards, advancing the work of conservation scientists around the globe. 4 years ago, the Emerging Conservationist Award was created to support the next generation of conservation scientists. The criteria for this award are simple but significant. We recognize an outstanding conservationist who is under the age of 40 and identify an individual who is making an authentic impact, saving an animal species or a group of species. The process of choosing the Indianapolis Prize 2025 Emerging Conservationist winner was thorough. Through a two-stage selection process, a review committee narrowed the application pool to 10 finalists who were then sent to a selection committee for their decision on one winner. This biennial award of $50,000 is made possible through a grant from the Kobe Foundation, and we thank them for their generosity and enthusiastic collaboration. And now it is time to celebrate the winner of the 2025 Emerging Conservationist Award. Not only has this year's winner dedicated their career to combating poaching against one of the most elusive animals in Africa, but they've also made a commitment to improving their local community and actively engage them in their conservation efforts. Our winner today inspires us with their dedication to local species as well as to their neighbors near Bwindi Impenetrable Forest National Park in Uganda. It is my honor to announce the Indianapolis Prize 2025 Emerging Conservationist winner, Mwezi Badru Mugerwa. Mwezi is a Ugandan conservation scientist and founder and director of Mbaka, a grassroots organization focused on the preservation of the African golden cat. He established the first community-based anti-poaching conservation project focused on the African golden cat at Bwindi Impenetrable Forest National Park in Uganda. Mwezi also created the African Golden Cat Conservation Alliance, AGCCA, a network of African nationals implementing conservation activities for the African golden cat across the species range. Mwezi has published papers in high-impact conservation journals and will assume the presidency at the Society of Conservation Biology this summer. Please help me welcome Mwezi Badru Mugerwa. Mwezi.
Thank you for this honor for me, for my team, and for my communities living adjacent the African golden cat. I wouldn't have known years ago when I saw the African golden cat on camera for the first time that it would eventually lead me to being here today. When I asked my team about the cat that had caught my attention, they didn't know. But when I asked the local communities, they knew about the Mbaka in their local Ruchiga language word for the African golden cat. The local families around Bwindi Impenetrable National Park led us to help unlock better understanding of not only about the species, but the community itself and how to tackle together some long-term destructive threats to the African golden cat. Together, we have learned how to preserve and conserve the African golden cat. Unsustainable and authorized indiscriminate snare bushmeat hunting is the biggest threat to the African golden cat. To save the species, we needed to address the key drivers of bushmeat hunting. One, the need for food, and two, the need for money. That started with finding ways to meet the basic social needs of the local community. We have mobilized over 2,000 local families around Bwindi and over 8,000 families across the 27 AGCCA project sites in our conservation program to inspire dialogue against hunting and support the conservation of the African golden cat, not only around Bwindi, but across the species range. We established the Livestock for Bushmeat program to help over 100 families around Bwindi to start smallholder livestock farms for meat and income, providing in exchange for their commitment to stop poaching activities. We have established a small loan program at Bwindi called Conservation PESA, benefiting nearly 500 local families around Bwindi with soft agriculture and business loans in exchange to stop hunting. Our Smiles for Conservation program, S4C as we call it, has delivered free oral health and care and treatment to nearly 1,000 locals in exchange for their support for African golden cat conservation. We understand that it's hard for local communities to help wildlife survive when they have unmet needs of their own. The vision of our organization going forward is simple: engage and empower local communities in conservation through improving their lives while inspiring local support for conservation. The award will help us further drive this mission and continue our community-led conservation initiatives around Bwindi and also around 19 other countries across the African golden cat range under the auspices of the African Golden Cat Conservation Alliance, or the AGCCA. This will be achieved by expanding our horizons. We will persuade more residents living closest to the African golden cat to take a pledge to stop poaching. We will extend our livestock for bushmeat program, the L4B, by establishing more smaller livestock farms. We will continue to diversify family income through credit and savings through our conservation PESA program. We will continue delivering free mobile dental clinics for oral and health care to our communities as we continue to spread the conservation message. My hope for the future for the African golden cat is for the species itself, but also the local communities that are living around it. I am grateful to the Indianapolis Prize to be named the 2025 Emerging Conservationist. I would like to thank my team and everyone who's been part of this journey, this movement. In one African proverb, it takes a village to raise a child. I am that proverbial child. I take this opportunity to thank the village that has helped me to get me here today. First and foremost, I wish to thank my family, my wife, who have been by my side through this journey and have allowed me to be the black sheep, giving me the opportunity to explore a career in the wild. I wish to thank the local communities who have been part of this journey, who have devoted their time and knowledge to diligently deliver and implement Mbaka's community conservation initiatives. The Uganda Wildlife Authority, the National Forest Authority in Uganda as well. Special gratitude goes to Dr. Jim Sanderson. You took me under your mentorship when I was a young man, fresh graduate from the university. See what I've become today. I'm forever grateful. Dr. Christos Astaras, from being my mentor, from being my tutor, to a friend and colleague, you've walked this journey with me. Dr. Andreas Wilting, from being my supervisor for my PhD, allowing me the opportunity to take on a PhD program at the same time my conservation commitments. Dr. Dennis Babasa from the ITFC for always keeping the ITFC doors open for Mbaka ideas, for AGCC ideas. Through my conservation career, I've been able to join so many families. My Mbaka and AGCC family, all this would not have been possible without you, your passion, your patience, your persistence, and most importantly, your dedication to the vision and mission of Mbaka. My family at the Small Wildcat Conservation Foundation, my family at the Wildlife Conservation Network, my family at the National Geographic Society, my family at the Muhammad bin Zayed Species Conservation Fund, my family at Panthera, Rufford Small Grants, the IUCN Cat Specialist Group, the Big Cat Rescue, Mongabi, the Aqua Life Park, and now my family at the Indianapolis Prize. I am forever grateful. This is for you. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Mwezi, so much for telling us your story. Your journey has been amazing and remarkable, and really to think about the journey that is ahead of you, which is also going to be so exciting. Of course, any meaningful impact requires the talents and dedication of many like-minded individuals working together toward a common goal. So please join me in taking a moment to hear from some of Mwezi's colleagues and mentors.
Mbaka and Badru's work is actually a game changer for the African golden cat. It needs those champions like Badru to get the attention. And with his role model, he developed at the Mbaka at the one side, starting very small, community-based conservation, and then through his enthusiasm to mobilize over, I think, 40 African nationals across most or all the range countries of African golden cat, to bring them together, to join forces, to apply the similar community-based conservation program, I think is a great achievement. And we shouldn't underestimate what it takes to make that step from a little small-scale conservation program to actually a range-wide program for a species. Mwezi is one of the most wonderful and cheerful persons. I know him for many, many years, and I think I've never seen him in a bad mood. He's always joking, always positive. It doesn't matter how big the difficulties are, Mwezi, you need to deal with. You always have a big laugh, and that's why I really, really like working with you. Your positive way of things make everything much easier.
I know him all these years, and I know how effective is his contagious smile. And I mentioned that not because smile is so essential, but conservation is not just rain, sweat, and mud in the forest. It's also working with people. And it's exhausting and tiring in just me. This is where Badru excels. He loved to work with animals, but he went beyond that. He took feedback from the local people to make sure that what he proposed is likely to be accepted, and he persevered. Badru, congratulations, my friend. This is a very well-deserved award. It's a prestigious award that you know you have worked hard for it. Kudos, keep up the good work, and I look forward to reading more about your work. And till we meet in the field again, congratulations.
Badru is a consummate conservation practitioner. The way he's worked and the way we all work around the world is we begin by asking, what are the threats? And so Badru asked poachers why they were doing this, why they were poaching. And most of them were not poaching for African golden cats. They were simply poaching to feed their families. Everything we do all around the world must be practical, pragmatic, sustainable, and scalable. That is, we want to involve the community to make our programs work and to leave them responsible for the continued use of these programs to stop the threats to our small cats, but wildlife in general. And Badru has led the way for African golden cat across Africa. So Badru, congratulations for winning this award. You deserve it. You earned it, and your colleagues are going to follow you in your footsteps. Thanks for all the hard work for saving our beloved African golden cat.
And thank you again, Mwezi, and thank you to the incredible network that has helped inspire and support you all along the way. So it's obvious that Mwezi's commitment, curiosity, and charisma have yielded tangible results for the African golden cat, the Ugandan community, and equatorial Africa alike. So Mwezi, thank you for the example that you set for all of us. Now we want to go ahead and take a few minutes to ask both Mwezi and Dr. Shoemaker more about the Indianapolis Prize 2025 Emerging Conservationist Award, Mwezi's incredible journey and the contributions that have led to this exciting moment. So let's start off with Dr. Shoemaker to share why you believe Mwezi's work was so inspiring and why he's been selected as the Indianapolis Prize 2025 Conservation Award winner. Dr. Rob?
Thanks, Scott. Well, I'm inspired just hearing from Mwezi about the remarkable work he and his team are doing. His passion about the African golden cat and getting the community involved in conservation are just remarkable. The work Mwezi and Mbaka and the AGCCA and so many others are doing have made a great impact for the African golden cat, but as you heard, also for thousands of people in local communities across equatorial Africa. People who didn't have access to food or dental care for their families or the money to start businesses now have those opportunities, and African golden cats are benefiting as a result. For those reasons and more, he was selected as the Indianapolis Prize 2025 Emerging Conservationist. And as you heard him say, his work started with the photo of an unknown animal at Windy National Park, and then he asked the local community about it. From there, look at the impact they've made for the conservation of this species and for communities across the continent. I am thrilled that we can highlight Mwezi's work and the continued impact he's going to make over the rest of his career. We've had so many wonderful conservationists selected as finalists for this award, and I simply can't wait to continue watching the impact they will all continue to make as well.
Dr. Shoemaker, thanks so much for sharing that. So Mwezi, when you look at the impact of your conservation efforts for the African golden cat, how do you measure success, not only of the impact on the animal population, but also on the local communities?
Thank you, Scott. Well, impact on the African golden cat. We've been able to bring an elusive species that has not benefited from national or international attention and therefore funding to the world. This is signified by the over 8,000 local people across 27 different projects in the species range who have pledged their support to conserve the African golden cat. This year, we are starting a standardized species range camera trapping system to allow us not only monitor the population of the species, but also to evaluate the impact of our community-led conservation initiatives on safeguarding the African golden cat and its habitat. Now, on the local communities, again, we've been able to persuade over 8,000 local people, and 2,000 of those are only around Windy Impenetrable National Park, to join the African golden cat movement, which is a sign that local communities appreciate our people-centered novel approach to conservation. Only at Windy, we have created livestock smallholder farms benefiting over 100 families. We've been able to create a small loan program to diversify family income through credit and savings. 500 families are benefiting from that program. We've been able to deliver free oral health treatment and care to nearly 1,000 local people from living around Windy National Park. All combined, these programs, what they've done is to give a voice and a space to some of the country's least affluent people with a voice to contribute directly to conservation. And also to show the communities that conservation is not an opportunity lost, but actually it's opportunities offered, bringing tangible livelihood improving benefits to those living adjacent or to those living around natural habitats for the African golden cat. That's the impact.
So Mwezi, you talked about how important the community has been to the conservation efforts for the African golden cat. Was it hard to get the community involved, and how have they been reacting to all the work that you've been doing?
Very good question, Scott. Very, very good question. Yes, it was challenging. It was challenging because garnering this level of support, and most importantly, trust from over 2,000 people was only possible after years of successfully implementing ecological and community-led projects that link directly people's livelihoods and wildlife. And that was combined with honest sharing of research findings on the status of the African golden cat, explaining the threat that poaching and bushmeat hunting poses on wildlife, also combining that with providing incentives that directly address the causes of these destructive behaviors and practices.
Mwezi, thank you for that answer. Let's bring Dr. Shoemaker in. So, Dr. Shoemaker, when you consider the challenges facing animal species and ecosystems, what gives you hope? And how are Mwezi and other prize honorees contributing to the solutions to the challenges that exist?
Scott, I agree with you. It's easy to focus on the challenges, but people like Mwezi and the groups around him, you heard him mention his mentors, his team members, and those who have been named Indianapolis Prize winners throughout the past 20 years. Those are the people and those are the reasons I have hope and optimism for the future. All of the previous Indianapolis Prize winners are still making a significant impact on animal conservation. These are unsung heroes, and they are doing the work that is making an extraordinary difference in our world.
Yeah, Dr. Shoemaker, thanks so much for giving that insight. Let's bring Mwezi back in. Mwezi, I want to ask you, how can the rest of us get involved in conservation of the African golden cat, and how can we contribute to Mbaka's efforts beyond just giving money?
Thanks, Scott. Anyone can be a conservationist. If you care about nature, if you care about the environment, if you care about the species, you're a conservationist. Bring the word on the African golden cat to the world. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your colleagues about our conservation work. Follow our social media channels, visit our website, or please just reach out to join the Mbaka or the African golden cat movement. Thank you.
Thanks, Mwezi. I do have one last question for you. What advice would you give to other conservationists who are under the age of 40?
As a conservationist under 40, all I can say, the world is your oyster. All you need are the 3 Ps. And these have been really key to getting me today where I am today. Passion, patience, persistence, and having good people to support your journey, however ambitious it may be. Just continue doing good for nature. The rest will fall in place. Nature and wildlife need more of you.
Mwezi, thank you so much, and congratulations. We are proud of you. We are excited for you, and keep up the good work, my friend.
Thank you so much, Scott. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you bet. We'd like to give another special thanks again to Mwezi Mugerwa and the team at Mbaka and the African Golden Cat Conservation Alliance. I want to thank the Kobe Foundation for your support, and to Beetle Financial for making possible the media studio over at the Indianapolis Zoo's Global Center for Species Survival. We hope that we're going to see you again in May as we celebrate the announcement of this year's Indianapolis Prize winner, and then again in September for the Indianapolis Prize Gala presented by Cummings, Inc. That's where we will once again recognize the amazing contributions of Mwezi and his team in person. So thanks so much for joining us, and have a great day.